Bob. Hey, TJ. All right. Hey, Philippi. Ready for some goat therapy? All right, kids. Hey, y'all. What you doing? Oh. Close that. Okay. Hey, y'all. What you doing? What you doing? That's my baby. How's my kid? What you doing? Hey, you can't get on there. You can't eat that. What you doing? You can't kiss me. Look at those blue eyes. Well, hello, Mistress Beatrice. How are you? How are you, Mistress Beatrice? Hello, horny goat. Look at those horns are getting so big. Hey, what you eating down there? You can't eat that. You can't do that. Don't you do that. You can't do that. You can't eat that. What you doing? I'm getting dirty down here. You can't knock me down like that. The threesome, the triad. Baby goats, baby goats, baby goats, baby goats. You are so cute. You are so cute. Look at those ears. Look at those ears. Hey, you can't eat that. What you doing, blue eyes? You can't do that. Look at those ears. It's like the flying nun. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. It's the flying goat. It's the flying goat. Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo. You guys are so cute. All right, y'all. Cute. We are moving on to the permaculture food forest in the making. This is a different kind of garden than the ones we've been showing you because it is in a forest versus a clearing of land. And the entire campus here of habitable spaces is very forested and very dark unless you clear out the vegetation, which is really difficult. Which is why we have a collaborative farm for the bigger gardens that need more sunshine. And this is going to be a lower maintenance permaculture garden within our forest. Hey, Allison, how are y'all?
How's it going?
How's it going? All right, so today we're going to talk what? Food forest
we're gonna talk
permaculture.
about perennial food forests.
Okay.
And since we're standing here, I thought maybe we'd show off the composting system
Great.
that we have here. Actually, it starts over there.
Oh, yeah. So this thing here, right?
Yeah, so this is...
Can I look inside?
You can. It's full of critters.
Can you see worms?
You can see all
No
kinds
way.
of stuff.
Oh, my God. All right, so this is what happens to the food scraps at habitable spaces. It goes into a food composter, which turns around, is it?
Yes, it rotates.
Rotates.
So yeah.
Oh.
It rotates. Well,
Oh, it's
right
heavy.
now, but,
Yeah, this might be a two-man job.
Yeah, so we put our food scraps in here first, mainly because Texas can be very, very dry. And
Yes.
that's the main battle you're fighting with compost is everything dries out. So we found that stuff breaks down in here. We get soldier fly larvae and they just eat it all. And then they turn it into, they just break it down first.
Oh, great. And so how long do you have to have it can you reuse it anytime or?
So we leave it in here for about a month. And then we actually transfer it over to this system, which is a composting system. And we have these 3 bays. This is the new one, so we're adding to this.
Okay, so this is the newest bay here. All right, and so what do you add here that's not added to the food scraps compost?
So then we'll add the food. We'll dig a hole. We'll add the food scraps compost, and then, as you can see, we add, hay that's left over from the goats, any weeding that we've done. Actually, one thing we do is normally let the green weeds kind of dry out over there, become brown, and then we add those on top, and just kind of keep layering.
Right, okay, so you go from there with the green weeds to...
Yeah, let's take a look. So there's 3 different piles.
Okay.
This is our newest pile, so if you dig around in here, you'll see it's still pretty, there's lots of, it's not very broken down, it's not...
Yeah, still
not
sticky.
Soil yet.
Yeah.
Very sticky. Got
A lot of
lots
sticks. Living in the sticks.
And then this pile, which is our middle pile, dig in there.
Ooh, it's a
Right,
little
look at
thicker.
that.
Ooh,
Get
look
in
at
there.
that. That's the gold.
Get in there.
Right there. That's the pot of gold.
Yep.
That's what makes all of your produce taste amazing.
Yes.
Fortifies the
But
soil.
it still needs a little bit more work. It's still not quite soil yet. And this is our oldest pile. This one's not quite ready yet either, but it's the furthest along.
So it gets a little more compressed then. Kind
Yeah,
of just
it kind of just all breaks
dissolves
down.
into there. That's cool.
Yeah. So then when we're done, when this is ready, we'll use this up, and then this will be the new compost. So we'll start our composting here.
Great.
That'll be the old one.
Which you take over and use in the garden, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go in the garden.
Let's go to the garden. The garden looked so good during the springtime. So when summer comes, everything dies off. The ground gets too hot for even roots to survive. So there's a period of arid, dry desert, and now we're gearing up for fall again. The nights are getting cooler. So they're replanting for what I understand as being another high season in Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
Fall is
all right.
actually considered in Texas the best growing season.
Okay, fall is high season in Texas because
Yeah.
of the lack of heat. All right, let's check it out.
So
Message when we're learning. Okay, all right, check it out.
As you can see, we're in the middle of a forest, and this was originally an annual garden.
Mm-hmm.
But after struggling with lack of sunlight and poor soil because it's forest soil and it was very rocky, we finally just decided to turn this into a perennial food forest. So it's a very
Great.
young perennial food forest, but I'll show you around. I'll show you what we've planted, and it's probably going to be 5 to 10 years before we really see a forest-like look.
Excellent. Quick question. I forgot to ask about the cardboard here. So we've got stacks of cardboard here and here. Mm-hmm. And I've been bringing you scraps from furnishing a house, which is a lot of packaging.
Yes, we
with
love all
Amazon.
the cardboard.
Yeah, the bigger pieces.
So that is for weed control. We love using cardboard for weed control because you can put it down and then you put a ton of mulch over it and it smothers the weeds and then it breaks down and becomes soil. So cardboard is fantastic for that. I'll actually show you what we've done in here.
Okay, before you do, I noticed that you've got a Master Gardener sign here.
Yes.
What is that? What does that mean?
So the Master Gardeners.
It's so official. Is it
I
like
know.
a Texas thing or what is it?
I think the Master Gardeners is a national thing, but
Wow.
it's Texas AgriLife Extension, so it's probably a chapter. But yeah, so we are supported by the Texas Master Gardeners Association, which means that any Master Gardener who wants to get their hours, so when Master Gardeners, they have to go to school, and when they complete their coursework, they have to get 100 hours of volunteer time at a garden. And hey, we're one of them, so if you want to volunteer
Bravo.
and get your hours, you can come here.
Yeah, I think Jerry, one of the members of the band, the slide guitar, which is amazing, is he
He's a Master Gardener. He actually teaches,
teaches.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, we might interview him for this.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
All right.
Oh, one more thing. The mulch. Does this come from, where does this come from? Is it from the property or?
So we get all of our mulch for free from the county, and actually to everybody anywhere. if you want mulch, always check your county. There's usually, it's from tree cleanup, it's from branches or trees that have fallen on the roadways, and they have to do something with it. So they mulch it, and we go to the dump and pick this up. It's in a they have a free mulch pile, but now actually we've contracted with them to drop it off at our property. So sometimes they'll even do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tip of the day, y'all.
Yeah. Just the tip.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Cool. Oh, look how beautiful this is. And look at that irrigation.
Yes, it needs a little work. We're getting the irrigation in. These are all artichoke plants.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably get some artichokes out of them in the fall. Probably in another month, we'll see little artichokes sprouting up.
Excellent.
We got a ton of them because you tend to get 1 or 2 heads of artichoke per plant.
Mm-hmm. Great.
In here we've got, this is kind of the classic structure of a perennial food forest.
Okay.
So you have your fruit tree. This is a plum tree.
Mm-hmm.
It looks small now, but it's going to get big and have a canopy. And then you
Is it bearing yet, or do you have to wait a few years?
it's probably going to be a couple years before.
Couple years. Okay.
And then we have our understory bushes. So these are blueberry bushes.
Cool.
And the reason we have them in pots is because blueberries are pretty finicky. They like pretty acidic soil, and they don't like Texas soil. It's not acidic enough. It hasn't taken
clay.
enough acid.
Tripping would trip.
Yeah.
It needs more acid.
So we keep them in these pots so that we can kind of control the pH of them, and we add coffee grounds, which helps with acidifying
Coffee
the soil.
grounds. I was just looking that up. So it helps with the acidity of the soil, right?
You know what else does? Is pine needles. We don't have any pine trees around here, but pine needles are great for acidifying the soil.
Yeah, actually, when I lived upstate, anywhere there were pine trees with needles because they shed year round. There's so much that doesn't grow in that acidic soil.
Yeah, a lot of stuff doesn't, and some things do. Blueberries do. They love it.
Interesting. Okay.
And then we'll just look at some of these guys. This is savory, which is just going crazy.
Wow, it really likes where it is.
Really
huh?
likes where it is. Yeah, this is a great
Oh,
plant.
God, that smells divine.
I use it all the time for all kinds of cooking. It's used in a lot of French cooking, but
Wish you guys could smell this. It's exquisite.
And then this is oregano.
Yeah.
Nice big plant, very happy.
Ooh. Oh, God. So fragrant.
And this is
Can you smell this stuff like when it grows in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so amazing.
Now this is mint, and a little word of advice for probably every gardener who's grown mint knows this, but notice that?
Oh,
It's
really?
in a pot.
Why? Is it because it's so invasive?
Crazy.
It's
complete-
invasive.
It
It
will take
takes-
over.
It's
Yeah.
like asparagus, just
Yeah.
like takes over everything.
It'll take over. Yeah.
But is it not a good insecticide? I've heard.
I'm
mint
sure
can
it
sometimes
is,
be.
but it's happy enough in this pot.
Yeah, great.
So we just leave it in there, and then it can't grow everywhere. It sends out like roots,
Shoots.
and then it'll pop up like everywhere.
Oh, okay. So you have to be
Yeah,
careful.
to
It
prevent
becomes
that.
a weed, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we've got mint, savory, and oregano. Fabulous.
And then blueberries
Blueberries.
and artichoke.
Artichokes.
In this area.
Fabulous.
And then this actually this is Swiss chard.
Really?
Yeah, but Swiss chard in Texas can kneel. So do you see how it's like, look at this. Look at this trunk.
Whoa, look at
crazy?
that. That is a shoot now.
Yeah, and as it gets older,
Whoa.
it'll send off trailers like this.
Yeah?
We don't have a lot of greens growing right now, so this guy's been picked pretty clean. But
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so it'll send off little shoots, and then it'll grow all kinds of little, as the plant gets older, it'll just keep on growing and become this kind of
And for
creature.
amateurs like me, could you describe the difference between perennials, annuals, and what was it, semi-annual?
Well, it's pretty much perennials and annuals. So
Perennials and
annual vegetables are vegetables like tomato plants, lettuces. Lettuce is a classic annual because lettuce sprouts up, and then you pick it, and if you don't pick it, it bolts seeds and dies.
Okay.
It will not it will not last through the winter. It won't. Its whole purpose is to grow, produce seed, put the seed on the ground, and die.
Right. Interesting. So that's an annual.
So that would be an annual.
Okay.
Perennial plants form a plant. So Swiss chard in most climates is an annual because it will grow and then it'll send off seed and die. But in Texas, because we don't have very cold winters and it can survive up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, it keeps on growing.
It lives through the winter.
It lives through the winter, and then it grows this crazy trunk. And
so cool.
Yeah, so then perennials just grow like trees, bushes, shrubs. They grow more like a tree, I guess you could think of it.
Excellent. And what dictates what you choose to grow out here? Just what you need for the farm? Is this just self-sustenance?
We try to do a whole variety of stuff. I mean, I love having greens all the time. So that's why we do the Swiss chard in the perennial forest, because we can treat it like a perennial.
Great.
I try to do a lot of herbs and fruit trees. Fruit trees are great for a perennial food forest. Really just as we try to get as much variety as we can, and we try to do stuff that will do well in Texas.
Great. And so what do we have? We've got something growing here. What is that?
Let's take a look at this guy.
What's that?
This is a passion fruit vine.
Ooh.
Now we have passion flower vines growing on our place, but you can eat the flowers, but they don't really produce a fruit. But this is going to produce fruit, so
amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm noticing, as I recall, you guys had sprinklers here, but now you've got drip. Is this drip irrigation?
Yeah, so this is drip, and actually you can still see we haven't transformed that half the garden. That's all still on sprinklers.
Yeah.
But we're slowly getting it there. So this is all on drip. It uses a lot less water, and sprinklers tend to really promote weed growth. So it's
okay. All right. So another good tip.
And actually, so here you can see where we've gotten this whole half the garden mulched, and we've got our cardboard down.
That's so cool.
And then this half, we still have a ton of weeds, so we haven't put down the rest of the cardboard yet, but we're going to cardboard the rest of it and mulch.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This is tarragon, one of my favorite herbs.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so you use these in your cooking like on a nightly almost basis,
oh,
right?
Yeah. Tarragon is great with pork. It's great with chicken. It's really beautiful.
Very cool. Any tips or tricks for people who are thinking about turning their backyard or front yard into a permaculture garden?
There's tons of research you can do about it. I would do some research first and definitely go with the natives in your area. Try to do the structure of a perennial food forest is basically, it follows the structure of a forest. So you have your trees, but your trees would be fruit or nut trees. And then you have your understory shrubs, but your shrubs would be like berry bushes. So blackberry bushes, blueberry bushes, raspberry bushes. And then you have your ground cover. So in our case, the ground cover is the herbs.
Excellent.
So you have to think about it in that structure, and you can do research. If you don't live in Texas, if you live in Texas, the Texas Agriculture site, which also sponsors the Master Gardeners, maybe we can get a little video of that before we walk out. You can go on their website, and they are so informative about what grows in the area, the different areas of Texas, and what really thrives. And if you don't live in Texas, I suggest going to your state website, and pretty much every state has a website in which they talk about what fruits and vegetables grow.
Master Gardeners or just in general?
You could go to the Master Gardeners website.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could go to, in our case, ours is run out of UT, I think. But
great.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of information. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Is Zach on for tomorrow? Are we going to start
Yes,
landscaping?
yes.
All right. Speaking of, we have a landscape architect. Is that his title?
Yes, he's a
Okay.
landscape architect, and he's also a permaculture expert out of Austin. Actually, he's out of San Marcos, and he's a farmer and a permaculturist, and he's going to be coming in with his crew to do what they call cleanup, which, so tomorrow it's going to be a lot of sawing down dead trees, taking away underbrush. So it'll be kind of grunt work tomorrow, but it's going to really
right.
be transforming the space. So
Great. All right. So the landscaping begins. Very exciting. And hopefully we'll get to talk to Zach, who knows a lot about permaculture. That's tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Allison. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yay.
And so much information. We'll keep you posted on this garden. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Don't forget to look us up. You can see this reposted on Habitable Spaces Instagram. And you can find some things on Habitable Spaces YouTube. And Tripping with Trip, the podcast, is coming soon. I don't know when, but hopefully it's going to be worth the wait. All right?
It will be.
Bye, y'all. Hi,
Bye.
Sherry.
Who was on?